Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the North Report Podcast. I am your host, NNR Opinions, joined here with Zeke. Is this Ezekiel Elliott Productions? Is that who we have here? It just says Zeke.
Nah, my name's just Zeke, man. There's nothing special about me.
Oh my God, you don't even sound like Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, well, that's okay. Zeke, Zeke. Well, you know what? We're gonna roll with it. You want to talk about Lions football?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, that's good because I was even gonna talk to Ezekiel Elliott about Lions football. Okay, because it's about time we talked about Lions football. So let's, without giving a cliche, let's just go ahead and talk about Lions football. So I take it that you're a diehard Lions fan, right?
Oh, without a doubt, I'm wearing some Lions jersey right now.
Okay, well that's good. Well, that's good. Okay, let's see here. We have some stuff to talk about here about the Lions, and I'm gonna hit you with one thing real quick, and it's simple. So, do you think the Lions got better or worse after the free agency period and the draft?
In my opinion, I do believe the team has gotten better. We completely revamped our secondary. We lost our best defensive player in Darius Slay, but at the same time we replaced him in the draft with Jeffrey Okudah. And we just, that secondary is completely revamped from what it was last season. We replaced Diggs with Harmon, which Harmon's there's nothing really special, I guess, about him, but he does get the job done. And that's one thing I can respect about his game. And I guess the big worry is the D-line.
So if your big worry is the D-line, so refresh me real quick. What is the Lions like? Give me a defensive tackle for the Lions right now that you think could maybe make an impact in the run game, especially in the NFC North, which seems to be a division that's chock full of running backs. If you're not on the Lions defense,
right, for that D tackle position, we do have. I guess it has been worse since last year because Damon Sachs Harrison was an absolute monster at playing defensive tackle. But the person that we did replace him with is Danny Shelton, who was a former first-round pick.
Yes.
And he's, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he is actually only 26. I could be wrong with that. He could be a little bit older, but we got him on a 2-year, $8 million deal. And for what we're getting out of him, which is he does do very well in the run defense, that's really good in my opinion. And for pass rushing, we got Nick Williams out of Chicago, who put up 6 sacks last year.
Yeah, Nick Williams actually did a phenomenal job stepping in to a kind of beat up front seven in Chicago, and I was kind of sad to see him leave Chicago because of how much of an impact he made. And I know a lot of our Bears page and also NNR Productions, kind of gave him a good send off, and I'm pretty sure that Productions even got a share from a highlight tape, which is actually pretty awesome on our end. But yeah, so. Back on Danny Shelton. Danny Shelton is 26 years old. He's also 6'2" and 344 pounds listed here on Pro Football Reference. So, Danny Shelton through the let's see, almost.
He's only been in the league for a few years, right?
Yeah, it's he's going into his 6th season. He has total 4.5 sacks. He has combined 210 tackles with 99 combined assists. His best season he had was last year with 61 solos, 31 assists, and 3 sacks. So that's a New England guy who played with Matt Patricia. He was there in 2018. So, actually, no, I'm sorry. No, Matt Patricia, was the Lions head coach in 2018, right?
Yeah.
Because he's going into his 3rd year. Okay. So this isn't even a pickup. This isn't even a Lions acquisition from, you know what I'm saying, the typical Matt Patricia acquisition that seems to be going on with Detroit, where he's kind of picking up the scraps. So, I think Danny Shelton. I mean, I think Danny Shelton could be a viable option. I mean, not to replace Snacks by any means. It's kind of hard to do, but I mean, if Danny Shelton has some sort of semblance to the season he had last year in New England, then by God, you might have picked up a solid defensive tackle, or at least a solid defensive lineman. So,
to continue off of that, I really think that Danny Shelton signing is actually criminally underrated by a lot of people. I mean, I guess it does follow the trend of like Matt Patricia just finding all the New England scraps, but at the same time, when you consider his age and that he just came off of his best season at New England, and he's going into basically the same type of system, it's kind of like a boom or bust type of scenario. Like
it's got high ceiling, but the floor is definitely right there.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, he's still going to get some production. He's still going to be able to at least plug up the holes and, make sure that the pocket will not be clean the entire time.
Yeah, he'll definitely be able to. Yeah, he'll be able to clog the hole and disrupt things. Hopefully, with some sort of efficiency that helps the Lions. Which is, I mean, obviously that's something that Snacks Harrison did and did very well. But having Nick with him, having Nick with Shelton is going to be could prove to be dangerous, especially outside of the division.